Good evening. We'll get started. I first wanted to thank Eddie Levitt and Waffle King for, I was going to bring him in here if we could, and could somebody step right in and let him know how much we appreciate their crew coming in and catering our banquet tonight. If you didn't know it, he has fed our girls, our team, 3 times this year. Hey, we just want to let you know how much we appreciate tonight. Nights that you fed our girls on Waffle King after our home games. We want to tell you how much we appreciate it.
It's my pleasure.
And we're glad to be a part with you tonight as our caterer for our banquet.
Thank you very much. I hope everybody enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to start out before we start giving out the JV and varsity awards. I got to thank a lot of people. You know, I come up here and I do this at the banquet and throughout the season, from June, really actually when we start our workouts and our booster club starts really meeting in June and July, getting ready for the season. This is kind of an end result of a lot of things that people don't see all the time. A lot of you, though, are obviously aware because you get text messages from her all the time. And Heather Collis is our president. She's done a great job again, making sure that everything's taken care of, that coaches get to coach. I actually had her come speak to our baseball booster club last night to give them some advice on what she does and how she runs our club so smoothly and effectively. And because of that, we have a little token of appreciation before you sit back down on behalf of the girls and the coaching staff and the parents for you and everything you do for our program. Along with that, I've been informed that I'm probably going to get a letter of resignation from our treasurer because she's done it now for 2 years, and she has done a tremendous job. And I don't think she's mad at me. I just think she's going to fill in and probably, I think, be vice president and get out of the bookkeeping part of it. But Tina has done a great job for us. Many times we communicate. It's great having someone with our school system. I can get right to her, and she can get stuff to me quickly. But it's a lot of work. She's always worried we're going to run out of money, and that's good. And so I've taken Dusty's college money we've set aside, and I'm going to leave it with her to manage for the next year and a half so that we've got money for him to go to school, because she does a great job with it. So Tina, we have something for you as an appreciation for what you've done for these girls, and especially for me and the coaching staff over the last 2 years. Have one more who she sits outside our dugout and she keeps our game changer for us. And now she's looking at her husband like he has something to do with it. But she has done a great job, not just this year, but this is also for last year also. She kept our game changer for our events for JV and varsity for the last 2 years. And Ms. Armstrong, for that, we appreciate you for keeping our stats up to date and ready to download. And we want to say thank you on behalf of our players and coaching staff too. Mentioned 2 other events that took place this year. Our 3rd year in a row, when we had our Breast Cancer Awareness Week, let you know that Ms. Armstrong, she also coordinated that event for us, handled the Pink Week, and she handled our T-shirts, and also we sold the shirts. And I think our final donation up to the American Cancer Society from that week was $500. So we appreciate your efforts in that, and all the girls who went out and had girls and people buying them at our school. Also have to recognize Ms. Gina Jones, who took care of our senior night. We had a fantastic senior night. As a result, we see the senior portraits that were handed out that night, and we had a great night of fellowship. And even though it was after a very tough loss, we got to thank our seniors for the year that they had and for the past few years that they've been in our program. And it ended in a very nice way, which will culminate, obviously, hopefully, with tonight's banquet. Other than that, I'm going to have Coach Armstrong come up, unless I missed. Carl's not here, so we want to mention Carl. We have girls have been working on getting this portrait that we had signed for him. Carl took us on all of our trips this year. Has been our bus driver since I've been coaching here. He does a great job, and so we have that to present to Carl for his work and keeping us safe and traveling back and forth. So I'm going to bring up Coach Armstrong now to take care of the JV awards and certificates.
First of all, a few thank yous for myself. I'd like to thank Mr. Shelfie, Dr. Ramsey for giving me a chance to come to Fannin County and coach. Such a privilege. I'd like to thank Coach Dyer and Coach Collis for letting me be a part of a great coaching staff. I'd also like to thank my wife for allowing me to do this. It's something I love to do. A lot of time away from home, but she's fixing to pay me back. Basketball started. So I think I still got a long way to go all year, but she's covered. Also, JV parents, a big thank you for all the time you put into your daughters. A lot of them can't drive yet. You know, you have to, well, we can get them to the ball field a lot of times on the bus, but you have to come pick them up. And I appreciate the time and effort you put in there with them. Also, thank you to all the JV players. All the hard work. A lot of times, JV players sometimes feel like they may be pushed, to the back burner. Everybody concentrates on the varsity team, but a lot of experience and a lot of things that you get out of just being around those practices and running the bases when we're working on defense and things like that, it's going to pay off in the future years. A couple of players that I would really like to thank: Emma Malarkey, Maddie Sisson, and Caitlin Waters. Without y'all three, we never would have had a JV season. And I appreciate y'all coming out and giving the time that you gave us and just to help us out to have a successful year. I want to thank y'all. Had a pretty successful JV season. 11-2. Everybody knows that the two losses were 2. But other than that, I had really enjoyed this year. A lot of positive things, a lot of laughs, a lot of good memories. Expect a lot of big things out of some of these girls. A lot of big things. We have a participation award. You want to leave them up here, or you want to let them just come get them and
have to go right across the front right here.
Line them across the front here. All right? And everyone knows we had some 8th graders come up after their season. Right? They're included in this. They were part of the team. Looking for big things from them also. We're going to start. I think they're all in alphabetical order. Brooklyn Bearden. She's the one I like. All right, Haley, the Hunter Bearden. Whitney Campbell. Kayla Cantrell. Analia Shofi. Is Morgan here, Fording Kentucky? Here. Okay. Caitlin Dickey. Emma Malarkey. Mariah Martin. Sydney Mull. Brooklyn Nazarene. Ashley Rose. Faith Rogers. Madeline Sisson. Caitlin Waters. Lacey Walden. And last, but certainly not least, Lori Welch. Yeah, go through that. We have 2 awards, JV awards this year. The first one is going to be our JV award. And I guess that goes with Whitney Campbell. Whitney had a great year this year, through pretty much the majority of the JV season. Even stepped up and threw a varsity game for us this year. Expect a lot of big things from Whitney. What we need to work on, Whitney? Our control, hitting our spots. Our next award is our JV Offensive Award. This young lady hit .478 this year for the JV. Had a great year. Hit her in the leadoff about all year. Was on base. I mean, you 478. That's unbelievable. So had a big year. Expect some big things next year from her. Haley Berry.
Coach Collison, Coach Stone, and Coach Armstrong, myself will go. And usually while we're someday eating lunch or one afternoon, we'll start talking about softball and kind of what's coming back and where we think. And we really didn't know coming into this year. We knew that we were going to be without a lot of players who had gone on in the last 2 years. So we were trying to get an idea. I was calculating it up today. These young ladies, most of them in this room, they put forth about 48 hours just in the month of June in a weight room with us, working with us, and also hitting in that old gym, getting up and being there. And I think we went from 8 to 10 in the morning. And they make a sacrifice. A lot of people don't see that. And then they take a week off for the dead week, and then they start going 4 days a week. We played 19 games this summer before our first official practice actually took place. At Union County, down at North Hall, over at Lumpkin County at North Georgia College. And there was a lot of things that were given up in the summertime for us to come and compete in this 7 AAA region. And I want to tell them, because many of them tonight, there's 5 of them who've made that sacrifice for the last 3 years that I've been head coach, and I want to really tell them thank you for doing that, for making that sacrifice. It pays off. I think it creates character, it creates some discipline, and it will turn into things down the road, those characteristics that we create in these young girls as athletes. Felt like we made it to the state tournament, 4th straight year, excuse me. The senior class is going out with 78 wins. That's the most of any senior class, surpassing the seniors from last year with 76. And the senior class before that had 70. This program is continually getting better, and that's really what our goal is. Tonight I'm going to start with some letters, first-year letters. In second year and third year, we have 2 young ladies who are going to letter for their 4th year in a row. So as y'all come up, I promised this young girl, she went with us to the tournament. We needed some innings pitched. I said, hey, you go and get a win, I'll give you a letter. And she went with us and she pitched, and she got a win. And Whitney Campbell, she's the first-year letter. Congratulations, Whitney. Freshman came up. She had some at-bats, but she mainly played JV, but she went with us all year. I used her. Dang, we put her in against Ringo, and she almost hit a bomb. And I'm thinking to myself, why haven't I been hitting her more? Tori Welch. Tori, what's your favorite song, Tori? What's your favorite song? Country, what is it? This young lady came in, she's another freshman, threw a lot of innings for us, which was a big thing. Gave Jay some rest. She got to play outfield, she played some infield before she hit well. Freshman Caitlin Dickey. This young lady, every time I go in the bank, I go in there and I tell her mother what a great kid she has. Isn't that right, Ms. Walden? I go in there and talk to her. Lacey is one of the nicest, most positive young ladies I've ever been around. Come on, Lacey, you come up here. And she is great to be around. One time she fell to the dark side. Now, I've really got to know this young lady because she's in my class right now. She's got a total different personality in the classroom than she does on the softball field. Haley, here you go. Haley's got it all over the dance studio. We ought to. This young lady missed last year from playing, but she would sit on a bucket at practice a lot because she was recovering from a knee surgery. I put her in a lot of different spots this year. Sophomore Ashley Rhodes. Congratulations. Hey, come this way. Get one of these. Every time I think about softball and this young lady, I get mad because I always say, why didn't you play last year? And she came in this year, and we turned around as a slapper, and I think she's going to help us. I think she's going to be fine. I just wish she'd played last year. She'd had another year with Brooklyn Nazareth. She's going to a slapping camp. We're excited. This young lady, I told her when we were out there at senior night, and we were out at senior night. Those seniors kind of were a little bit heartbroken. I looked at her and I said, you know what? When you have your hunting show, I want to be on there. Jordan Deal. This was, we call her Pup. It's really my fault, and I feel bad about it. That's a long story. Kirsten Siegel. This is her twin sister, Allie Barfield. Katie Brown. Lettering for us. Infield, outfield. Bailey Jones. Bailey's it's her second year lettering for us. I feel like this girl, she did a great job for us. Her dad was always fussing at her, maybe a little too tough on her, but Jace Armstrong. Amy had a tremendous year. We'll talk about a little bit of that in a minute. Amy Mintz. Third-year letter woman. And then our last two, I'm going to bring them up together. They have been part of, come on up, Josie and Mallory. They have lettered for 40 years. They have been part of 78 wins. 78 wins. And the other part is these two were in my first year teaching at Fannin County. They were in my class, and we've had a great time over 4 years, and it's really flown by, hasn't it? It really has. 78 wins for these young ladies, the seniors, 4-year letter women. At this time, I'm going to invite Mr. Shofie to come up, and as a tradition, he will give out the Scholar Athlete Award for our player with the highest GPA as our Scholar Athlete.
Thank you, Coach, and I appreciate Coach Collins, Coach Armstrong, and Coach Tyler, all that they've done this year, the past few years. Last 3 years, I've been able to come up and give this award, and this year the race was pretty tight. Our softball girls, Coach has talked about the wins and losses that are more about the wins than not the losses over the past 4 years, which is outstanding achievement. But when I look at the academic side and what these girls accomplish each and every year is amazing. We have a very high rate of the girls that play softball go on to college. They consistently have one of the highest GPAs as a team at our school, over 3.7. They're traveling an hour and a half, 2.5 hours to away games, and they're still getting it done in the classroom. So I'm very honored to give out the award to our Scholar Athlete, 2 years running. Lucky.
I said we were going to talk about Amy a little bit in a minute. Amy, you can come on up. Amy received her offensive award. She had a tremendous season. From the get-go, after the first 3 games, she was hitting over 400. And she hit over 400 the entire year. Now, at one time, she was hitting really, really well. And then she came back with it. She ended up hitting 486 with 104 bats. She led our team in most offensive categories, and Amy Mintz gets the offensive award. Coach's Award. I give this out to a young lady who, for a number of different reasons. Someone who shows kind of the spirit of being a teammate. She shows up every day. She's usually one of the first people there. She's grabbing equipment. She's the last person to leave that dugout when we're practicing because we try to leave City Park without any trash. She's always the last one to leave. She's picking up things for other people. She waited. She waited a lot of times with a teammate or teammates as I waited with them, waiting for a ride to pick them up. I like this person because since I've been around them, they are a competitor. And we talk about having a competitive spirit. And she'll get after a little bit. And that's what I like. And I think it's going to help her, especially for the next 3 years as she plays in our program. She threw for us on the mound. She hit for us in a lot of big situations. She stepped in and she competes. And our Coach's Award goes to Caitlin Dickey. Thank you. This young lady had a great year, and she had it mainly in the last 5 weeks of the season. And she was on fire for us. And when I compared her stats from last year and the previous year, I said Amy led us in most offensive categories, except for some of the RBI in the RBI category. And Mallory, even with Amy hitting in front of her for a lot of the year, she still led us in RBIs with 27. She hit 340 for the year for us, 32 hits. And I think she had 15 of them in the last 11 games. She nearly killed an umpire in the pitching tournament against Banks, and it was Gene Anderson. I've known him for a long time. He actually called me that night on the way home, and she had hit one, and he was between first and second. It was so hard at him. He said, "Coach, I kept going to my left, and it kept following me." And I think Mallory Dill, she's our most improved player this year. Pitching award, probably going to be Jace, right? Jace threw actually the same amount of innings as she threw last year. Really, there was a difference. She threw 2/3 of an inning more this year than she did last year. That was so odd to me when I looked at it. She actually improved. Last year she gave up 59 earned runs in those 137.6 innings. This year she gave up 39 earned runs. Her ERA from last year was like 2.41, and this year it was 1.97 for the year. She only had 11 wins this year compared to 17 last year. We just didn't get it done for her defensively. She deserved better than what she had from that aspect of it. But when you look at it, she pitched better, and it's hard to tell. It's hard to gauge that. Our pitching award goes to Jace Armstrong. She had roughly within 10 strikeouts. She had 102 strikeouts this season. I think she had 106 last year. Lady Rebel Award. This was hard because she could have had any number of these awards. She led us, and I put her in the leadoff spot this summer, and I never took her out of it. She's a lot. I guess Caitlin could have watched how she has been for the last few years. Josie's that person who is more than just on the field. She does things for her teammates. She's the last one to leave. She's the first one there. I was sitting at the house today in between starting this and coming over here after we set up, and I kept thinking about what are things that come to my mind when I think about Josie. Well, I can't remember her but missing only one workout or two this summer, and that was to take her sister to basketball practice. And I think she either came late or she had to leave early to do that. And then I started thinking, how many times do I remember her missing those workouts in the previous few summers? And I don't think there's really hardly any time that she missed summer workouts. She's got a tremendous work ethic. You already saw what her grade point average is. She was our scholar athlete for the last 2 years. She's already been accepted to Mercer, a great university. That night when the seniors were out there after that last game, I talked about her, and I'm going to trust her with it. If I ever have to have a heart surgeon, because I think that's probably what she's going to be, somewhere like that, and that's the kind of kid she is. She's our Lady Rebel Award this year. She hit for the season 365. She had a slugging percentage of 548. She had 3 home runs, and when she came to the plate, she didn't have many opportunities sometimes for RBIs as a leadoff hitter. She led off a lot of the innings anyway. Josie Millsap's our Lady Rebels Award. You'll notice the seniors have their senior portrait that we have that we give to them on senior night, and they're done together in these frames, matching frames, so that they can be placed maybe in their home, in the parents' home, and they can go one above the other. And this is their senior night plaque that we give them with what they have from their career here at Fannin County. When we talk about seniors, if we add up the hours, they spend a lot of time over the course of 4 years. They make a lot of sacrifices. At the culmination of tonight, these girls, I hope that they have more positive memories than negative, but sometimes you have to realize that through this, there's going to be sometimes there's going to be heartache, things don't go the way they go, but with this young lady who I'm going to talk about right now, she is determined in things that she does. And because of that, I think she's going to do great from whatever she chooses to do from here on out. She is a hard worker. She doesn't let things take her on a negative path. She's positive, and because of that, we're going to recognize Jordan Deal tonight as our first senior, and what a great contribution she made to our varsity program this season. Come on, Jordan. When I combined Jace's stats for the last 2 years, 28 wins, she gave up 93 earned runs, and she had a career ERA at 2.36. She received our pitching award last year, and last year she was second team 7 AAA, and from that, team wins from 2012 to 2013 is 41 that she's been a part of with us, and appeared with us in the Sweet 16 last year. Jace Armstrong. Amy Mintz, her batting average is .353. In her 3 years, she had 78 hits. Same amount of wins we had. 78. She was all-region last year, first team. I might as well say this, our first team and second team for 7 AAA have not been completed yet. The ballots actually went out today, so I didn't have that information to add to their senior plaque, so that information will come out later. Some of these girls, I believe, will make first team or second team in our region. Amy was with us in Columbus 3 years ago, and that was a great experience, I hope, that she had. She was a part of that team that finished 5th in the state. Amy Mintz. Mallory, we talked about Mallory. She's our award winner tonight for Most Improved. She was also with us in the Columbus trip. She was part of our Sweet 16 last year. All her career stats are here. A lot of things at the bottom of this board that we did as a team. She was a part of it for the 4 years. Mallory Dill. See, Mallory's never happy with it. Never happy. I can never please Mallory. Josie Millsap is part of Mallory. She's going to have a lot of the team accomplishments. Her career, Josie ended up hitting .305 in her 4 years. The 78 wins, Scholar Athlete Award for the last 2 years, and Lady Rebels Award winner this year. Josie Millsap. You know, I can't do this without this gentleman here and Coach Collis. The amount of hours these guys give up, you know, You probably wouldn't believe me if I told you what what their supplements were and the time that they go. You don't do it for the money. You do it because you want to compete. You like being around the kids. You like having that relationship with them, see them do things, see them get discouraged and see them overcome it, see them perform. If you were at some of our games, it was great to see how our girls started in the latter part of the season. We would get down and we would come back. See a team grow, see them get better. Watching these seniors for the 4 years I've been here, how they've improved. I can think back to the day I met Coach Collis over at Fannin County Park and seeing that group come in. And Josie was a left-handed shortstop on the JV. And Mintz, she never would even say a word to me. And I keep trying to get her to talk. And Jordan Deal, her and Mintz were always standing next to each other just looking at me like, well, who is that guy? All those memories, and from where they went from being freshmen to now, in just a few months, they're going to walk across that stage in May and start the next part of their life. I could tell after the Ringgold series that these seniors were hurting. My belief is that these banquets are for seniors and really for them, and that's the reason why we have them. We're going to miss this group of 5. Jace came in and moved here, and she did a great job for us both years. She's fit right in. I remember the day that she came with her mom and dad over at the school, and we walked around the school. All those memories, Mallory and I, we butted heads, and then we're great, and then we butt heads, and then we're great. It's kind of like my daughter never left to go to college. And that's kind of how it's how it was, and we're going to miss each of you, and we wish you nothing but the best of luck. And our prayer is that you find what you want to do, and you always stay close to the Lord.